This is Hkhs Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. We keeping the foot on the what? On the X. Let's get on to it, man. Tell me something I didn't know. Whoop-de-fucking do. Let me say it again. Whoop-de-fucking do. Okay, so you guys are telling me that Gervonta Tank Davis is dominating 130 and 135 pound division. Let's see. Things that make you say, Let me say it again. Things that make you say, All I'm left to say is, and a prediction, King strikes back. All right. And a prediction, King strikes again. I told y'all. All Gervonta Tank Davis was doing was basically declaring his dominance. He was declaring his lionship at both the 100 and 135 pound division. Now, all of a sudden, boxing community fan bases are saying the Leo Santa Cruz fight is a valid fight. But Hkhs Sport Ben told you guys this stuff. Remember, Hkhs Sport is 6 to 12 months ahead of the game. Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, 48 Laws of Power. 7 steps ahead of the game, y'all. So the truth of the fact of the matter is, we've been ahead of the curve. Y'all late to the party. Let me say it again. We've been ahead of the curve, but y'all late to the party. Gervonta Tank Davis is that dude. And you saw in the Mickey Bay video recently, today, he said that Gervonta Tank Davis is a small Mike Tyson. Oof. And a prediction, King strikes again. And a prediction, King strikes again. I told y'all, man. You guys have to start listening to Hkhs Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. And keeping the foot on the what? On the X. And keeping the foot on the what? On the X. We stay on the thumb and the needle of the damn situation. And we know the truth of the fact of the matter is Gervonta Tank Davis is that dude at 130 pounds. He is that dude at 135 pounds. He dominates these divisions. He lions and damn near lords over these damn divisions. Because, see, Mickey Bay, he got it 50% right. And over here, we don't do 50-50 over here. Let me say it again. Mickey Bay got it 50% right. And over here, we don't do 50-50. Because if you give 50% of yourself, then basically you're giving 50% of who you are. Let me say it again. If you give 50% of yourself, then you're giving 50% of who you are. The truth of the fact of the matter is, when you denote a Gervonta Tank Davis and you break down a Gervonta Tank Davis, you have to say what he is. He is a combination of Mike Tyson meets Roy Jones Jr. Let me say it again. He's a combination of Mike Tyson meets Roy Jones Jr. He is a mini package variation of that combo. This guy dominates, y'all. 130 pounds. He dominates 135 pounds. No one can see Gervonta Tank Davis because of his pull counter extraordinary ability and his athleticism and his explosion, man. He pull counters like we haven't seen since the likes of a Floyd Mayweather, like we haven't seen since the likes of a Roy Jones Jr., like we haven't seen since the likes of a Earl the Truth Spence, like we haven't seen since the likes of a Andre Ward. These are pull counter extraordinaires. Bernard Hopkins has that variation too. So when we think of Gervonta Tank Davis, we have to think of the totality of what he brings to the table. And now all of a sudden, you Rudy Pool, you Plum Brains, you classic Dolce, you troglodytes, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, you reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panders, are sitting here and galvanizing your brains, galvanizing your minds behind the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat true teller fashion. And now he's training with Floyd Mayweather until there is a proclamation that says that he is no longer with the Mayweather promotion. Then you can start talking about that. Until then, go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity, walking, harsh. Let me say it again. Until there's a proclamation that says that he isn't working with Mayweather Promotions, or he no longer is tied to Mayweather Promotions, then stop the presses and pump the brakes, cranks on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity, fucking, harsh. See, you guys have to look at the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, and the cutthroat true teller fashion. Gervonta Tank Davis is that dude. He's where it's at when it comes to boxing. This guy, once again, is a Mighty Mouse variation of a combo package. We haven't seen this before in boxing. A guy that's special, that has the Roy Jones Jr. athleticism and explosion meets Mike Tyson. Isn't it interesting how I took those two dichotomies? Because those are two dichotomies in boxing, those styles. And it's so funny how those two guys are fighting. It's like Hkhs Sport called that thing into existence via a Gervonta Tank Davis. Let me say it again. He Knows the Sport called that thing into existence. And when I'm talking about calling it into existence, I'm talking about the Roy Jones Jr. versus the Mike Tyson fight. I didn't even see that on my radar. But because I say that so much about Gervonta Tank Davis, it literally, indirectly called it into existence. This is what I'm talking about when I tell you operate with an abundance mindset. You're a man with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset. When you operate in this magnitude and you operate in this high belief system and you operate in this level of positivity, things happen. Even when it's not directly something that you called into existence, it happens. How many times have you guys heard on this platform, He Knows the Sport said that Gervonta Tank Davis is Roy Jones Jr. meets Mike Tyson? Now everybody's 6 to 12 months late to the damn party as usual, and they're figuring it out. Damn, Gervonta Tank Davis is back on his shit. See, the Earl to True Spence car crash put everybody on witness protection. The Deontay Wilder supposed glove gate put everybody on witness protection, AWOL status. That's right. The real ones, the real G's, the super real G's, and the ultimate real G's out here in these boxing streets can be put on witness protection and AWOL status. What I mean when I say that, I'm not talking about being little mouse running back into a hole. I'm talking about go back into the lab, get that work back up, realize what you were slacking off, like an Earl to True Spence with the drinking, or Earl to True Spence not training as the way that he's supposed to, not training with the rigorous training or the rigorous level. Doesn't matter what type of strength and conditioning coach you have, because people have to understand health and fitness. This is a realm that I operate in. So I know this very freaking well. It's about your mental discipline. You have to be mentally disciplined. This is why He Knows the Sport has been able to stay in shape for a number of years. I get up and I work out 5 to 6 times a week. Don't nobody tell me that I have to do it. I fucking do it. Let me say it again. Don't nobody tell me I have to do it. I fucking do it. You know why? Because I'm mentally wired. My mind is mentally wired that I have to do this like I'm taking a shit. It's about mental discipline. So this doesn't matter who is in the circles or who's not. When you're doing what you're supposed to and you're putting in the work, in the level of consistency and the level of authenticity and the level of just constantly saying that I'm going to keep pushing forward, then you are going to be in the position of the right side of history. But when you slack off, like a Earl to True Spence did, when you slack off like a Gervonta Tank Davis did, when you slack off like a Deontay Wilder, all of these guys alluded to it. All of these guys mentioned it. Now you're seeing, it's like basically a renaissance. What you're seeing is basically what we would say a radicalized movement of them saying, you know what? Let me gird myself up. Let me gird thy loins. I'm giving you our biblical terms here, man. This is what King David used to talk about. Let me gird thy loins, meaning let me grab my fucking nuts, hold stock of where I'm at, and realize that I need to get on my stuff and get on my shit. And I need to go back into active rotation, just like He Knows the Sport had to do on YouTube. Back to active rotation. So recap, how does this all formulate with Gervonta Tank Davis? He's back in the gym. He's doing the heavyweight lifting. And he's letting everybody know, based on what happened with Earl to True Spence, based on what happened with Deontay Wilder, these are wake-up calls. And he realizes, you know what? I'm 25 years old. I need to get my act in order. I need to do what I have to do, get my affairs together. And guess what? I'm going to prove to everyone that I'm that dude at 130 and 135. And they call me Tank for a reason, because I tank cats in the ring. Let me say it again. They call me Tank for a reason because I tank cats in the ring. Leo Santa Cruz is already punch drunk and he's not even 30 years old. Let me say it again. Leo Santa Cruz is already punch drunk and he's not even 30 years old. When Gervonta Tank Davis is done with him, he will be completely punch drunk. Let me say it again. When Gervonta Tank Davis is done with him, he will be completely punch drunk. That's the cold-hearted, that's the unadulterated, and that's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. Gervonta Tank Davis, once again, recap, is the Mighty Mouse variation of the combo package of Roy Jones Jr. meets Mike Tyson. Remember, He Knows the Sport is the standard bearerizer and the trendsetterizer of these terminologies. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.